obviously a podcast done by KP22 is going to be scuffed enough to the point where we wouldn't have a proper intro for it. And I think that's just really the sums up our entire apartment. So with that, I would like to welcome everyone to the first episode of Kuyper Penthouse Suites, the official podcast of KP22. My name is Garth Van Donselaar. I lived in KP22 with 5 other fine gentlemen, and I am joined with 3 of them today. So in no particular order. First, we have Aaron Van Middendorp.
No, I can't go first. Hi.
Adam Galloy.
Here.
And Jacob Brower.
What's up, gamers?
Yeah, so as I had mentioned, our apartment was scuffed, to say the least, and I think the picture that we've chosen to make our official artwork for this episode really captures that, which honestly I was surprised that we even had a picture of our setup in the first place, because I looked over my phone, I looked over social media all last night trying to find something, and I couldn't find anything. It was almost too legendary in a way.
Too legendary or too shitty, depending on who you ask.
Well, I mean, you have to start with the focal point of how we set everything up, which was our television.
Okay, yeah.
And then going around that was the Star Wars posters, which is probably the only unironically good thing that was in our apartment. And then from there, it's, if you look at the picture that we uploaded, you see an American flag or poster of Ronald Reagan, a Back to the Future poster, checks, a flag, a Back to the School.
We did have a Mona Lisa. That's unironically good.
Oh yeah, we had the Mona Lisa.
Do you count the Pokemon poster?
Didn't Zach say he had to smuggle that on a plane?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I do have a picture too of that side of the apartment, which I think really the most garbage part that we had was all of the Dort posters that we started to steal after events.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That started with the grill out, which I wrote the Diamond article about.
Oh yeah.
That was mostly you and Aaron that took those, right?
Aaron,
honestly, I think it was mostly me at some point.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably Aaron.
Aaron started stealing. No, I think I stole the first one because I stole the grill out one, kind of as spite, because I already had my meeting with Derek Butine about it, and then I think Aaron started doing it, just anything and everything. I think with looking at it, the cereal night.
We had some
that looks right.
women's devotions. I didn't get why we had that one.
I think I stole that one early, and that's because they put the date on it wrong. What I find to be so interesting about the whole thing, though, is that I had initially planned on we need to talk about this in great detail from our memory, because like I said, I legitimately did not believe that there was a single image that existed of this until Aaron showed up with some this morning.
I got sentimental in the last week and I took a bunch of pictures, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, how much stuff was left when you took those pictures? Was it still everything?
Yeah, I think everything was still set up.
Okay, good.
Some of
Put the
those were
stools on
pretty
the table.
early.
Classic.
It's one of those pictures had the dogs and the dog poster in its original position.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I had sent.
Oh, maybe that was good.
That was the one. That was the picture of Adam on the table, which I'll have to share these. I'll have to edit these into the video, because like I said earlier, I looked through my phone. I tore everything I had, Facebook, Instagram, my camera, my Snapchat, my everything, and what I had come up with. I came up with pictures of Adam freaking out on the table, us playing Mario Party 8, a plunger in our toilet room, Listerine in the fridge, us graduating, our TV, and the dog poster on the table when I tried to sell it.
That picture of us graduating is pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
Those were the only 2 pictures that we actually took of the 6 of us.
That's true.
We're not a sentimental group. even though we're here
Even though it's
talking
not
about
a podcast about the
graduation and
room.
making a podcast.
Well, I mean, honestly, the reason we're doing,
Every-
can we officially say that we're doing a podcast to flex, or are we just that, like, in tune with each
I
other?
was gonna say we're doing it for the clout because that's the only reason we would ever get sentimental. But I mean, that
What-
works too.
Would it be too sentimental to say that I miss you?
No, I miss
No.
you too,
That's good.
dude.
That's
I
good.
actually miss the room for real.
Oh, it's
Like,
the
now
place.
that's
The
just-
place was magical, and
It was.
that's what I hope these describe is how we, the six of us, we came in as friends, and we expected to have a seemingly normal school year, and what we were left with was in fact this very
Love.
scuffed place that we called home, and that was loved by many, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm overselling it.
I feel like we had a lot of people over between the
Yeah.
pancake nights and
Pancake
Super
night.
Bowl.
It was a lot.
Pancake night, Super Bowl, yeah. I mean, people would occasionally stop by. We'd always of course, we'd always taunt people. Like when we T-posed in the windows, it's like we were taunting people to come in.
So we have no pictures of the T-posing.
We have, as far as I know, I have
Mm.
nothing. I have not heard of anything. I have not seen anything.
For
I mean, that makes
context,
sense.
for people listening in, since we were right by the window, whenever people would walk by, we would stand by the window and T-pose, and everyone would be able to see us because our window was right there above the door to 55th. So everyone could see us T-pose. It was great.
The most
didn't-
powerful T-pose still is when Aaron did it with the crutches.
Oh yeah, I mean that wingspan is insane. But the proper response was to, respond with a T-pose yourself. So it would make sense that there's no pictures, unfortunately, of the events.
I remember there was several Snapchat pictures that were taken and exchanged, and I
Oh,
figured that
well-
between the 50 million people who those got sent to, somebody would have screenshot it and had taken it, but nobody did. And I realized that when Jonathan Fictory went to back to Dort to visit about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he actually T-posed on KP22 in its current state, and they took a picture of that, and I didn't even get a copy of that in my hands. So, of course, we are no longer there to answer the call, which was really a staple of ours. We were pretty good at seeing people as they would come to and from, and they were pretty good at watching whatever garbage was on our TV.
Usually Sam playing Tony Hawk Underground.
Golly.
Or Animal Crossing. I mean,
Oh.
earlier on it was Animal Crossing.
Both of those games are even scuffed in their own regard. I
That
feel like.
yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean,
Tony
Tony Hawk,
Hawk
you're
was-
always getting scuffed.
We
Okay.
named the town
Did you
Hell,
guys-
or I guess
I mean,
Jacob
yeah.
did.
It's hell.
Do you
so-
guys see?
I want to say that was
and-
mainly Zach who came up with hell for the town name in Animal Crossing.
How
But I
fitting.
think, yeah, but I definitely liked it.
Oh, it was a glorious thing, and it was just another
Mhm.
way for our very intriguing circle to interact. The interesting thing with Animal Crossing is how you could really make people competitive and passive aggressive in a certain way, especially with Sam, which Adam could probably describe it best, but the way that Sam can retaliate to anything is truly marvelous.
Yeah, Sam is insane. You never want to get on Sam's bad side. He will destroy you, emotionally, spiritually, every way possible.
It's too bad. It's too bad we couldn't be joined by him, and he could just sit here and boom roast everyone, as the kids would say these days. Going back a little bit to our initial theme, and how I had mentioned we had what we perceived to be a normal setup, and how it just completely went downhill. We had mentioned that we had hung Dort posters all along the south wall of the living room. that we had stolen over the year, and it completely cluttered it and filled it. And at that point, we had put zero effort into like straightening these or aligning these. And because we had stolen so many posters, I remember I think we went through 3 whole like packages of sticky tack.
That was obnoxious to clean at the end of the year.
I think
Yeah,
I
that
think I've seen Snapchat pictures from current Dort students, and it looks like a lot of those walls they painted, or they actually finally repainted them. So
um
all the
Oh,
damage that we probably did is gone, or at least slightly hidden.
it
yeah, now
sounded
it's
like it
hidden.
looked great when we got there.
Yeah. Oh, the freaking. Now it reminds me of the
Yeah,
quote sheet. I remember
yeah.
like the
I
first
was
week
gonna
there, I said
say.
it's like somebody did parkour on the wall in cowboy boots. It was for the nicest apartment on campus. It was already pretty beat up. It was
Oh,
really our destiny.
yeah.
I think the defining moment though, without a doubt, and what really set the tone for what our apartment would look like. I think there's 2 things um, that really wound up becoming it, and I can't remember which one of them came up first. The first one I'll talk about is the excessive amount of Christmas lights that wrapped around the top exterior, or the top perimeter, I should say, of our living room, that we branded as the vibes.
Oh no.
Right.
I know where you're going with this.
And even though they were multicolored Christmas lights, it gave off this very nice red hue, and that
Hmm.
was what we
That was
would do.
warm.
We'd turn on the lights and we just leave them on, and like whenever you just needed to just chill and just talk, you just plug in the Christmas lights,
Usually at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
1 or 2 in the morning, just
It's usually
sitting.
when you start. Yep.
Yeah, and we had geniusly laid out the living room so that you could have like pretty much a nice circle to sit, because you had a couch all along the west wall. You had a couch, actually, and a recliner on the west wall. You had a couch and a recliner on the north wall. You had the dining table on the east side, and then on the south wall there was the one loose couch partition that was sitting there. So it made great conversation that unfortunately died way too early into the second semester. But that was really one of the things that set up the tone that we wanted to establish of having a nice communal basis where, yeah, 1 or 2 or midnight or whatever, we'd all somehow gradually make it to the living room, and we would complain about things that happened in our life, whether they be Core 399
A
or
lot of Core 399.
Core
Yep.
399 or yeah, really Core 399. I can't think of
Mainly just that one. Yep.
The universal experience.
the second thing that I say that really defined our apartment is when we went to the Sioux Center garage sales first semester, and I'm trying to remember who all went. I think it was me, Jacob, Aaron. Did you go with us?
No, I didn't.
No, okay. It was Jacob,
It was, yeah, it was
Zach,
me, Zach. Yep.
Sam, I
I think
think,
so.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
Logan
think so.
Caskey, a friend of ours. And
Oh.
what happened was is we went to a old neighbor of mine. We were hitting up my old neighborhood, just randomly going to houses, trying to find. Well, originally it started as we wanted to get a live, laugh, love sign for
I
our
can't
apartment.
believe we
Yeah,
did
that's
not
right.
ever get that.
We
How
found
long did we say we wanted that?
we
Was that from
found
the beginning?
from the I think, yeah, and during the
Yeah.
summer we had already said
Wow.
that we wanted to have a live, laugh, love sign like right at the front entrance, and we never did it. We There was like
That's
at
really
one of
sad.
them there was something very similar to that was like those kind of like blocky marble letters, but I don't think it would have hung nicely, and
Hmm.
we didn't end up getting it. But instead, fate proved to be a lot better. So we go to my
Hmm.
former neighbors and we find this gigantic box of teacher stuff that would be in like a first grade, second grade kind of classroom. And we're just kind of rifling through it, there's just all this weird stuff in it. And then we find this alphabet strip, and we think to ourselves, oh, that would look fantastic above the big
Oh, yeah.
window on the west side of the
Mm-hmm.
apartment. And
It fit.
It was even on sale. The box of stuff was on sale at the garage sale for $2. So it was $2.50, and like the three of us who were there, we each chipped in like a couple of quarters. So we split the cost like three ways for $2.50 because that's how true Dutch we are. And we bought these posters, and the alphabet strip, quite frankly, hung up beautifully on
Perfectly.
One of the highlights of the room.
One of the highlights is the alphabet strip, even though it kept falling down.
It did.
And
Everything kept falling down.
And to prove how sentimental we are, each one of us has 1/6 of that alphabet strip. We split it up amongst the six of us, and mine, I don't know what happened to your guys as part of the strip, but mine currently hangs right in my office right now.
Mine's in my room, so it's still here. The spirit lives on.
Mine's in my living room.
Wait, what'd you say, Aaron?
But yeah, the alphabet strip was a huge classic. It was an insta hit, and that, to me, it had the perfect balance of quirky and weird, but like tasteful. It wasn't like too overbearing. Whereas everything else just straight up was overbearing, but we just lived with it, such as the back to school poster in the kitchen.
Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference.
Boy, we could have made a big difference in our lives, but we didn't.
We all had a negative attitude. It made a huge difference.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
That one with the dog that looks really sad, but like it's kind of judging you. I forget what the text is on that one.
Was that the one that was hung right by the door?
Yeah.
I think it was.
What, Jesus watching?
No, that was the one in the bathroom where it's like this borderline emo one where it's like Jesus is always with you, and it's like this girl just sitting alone on like the train tracks or something.
I thought it was like something like you have, even when you have no friends, you have a friend in Jesus or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it something like that?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
There was another one that was, I don't remember what it said, but it was basically a surreal meme that we hung by the door.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that we hung by the door is Dr. Zach's prescription to calm down.
That, yeah, I do remember that.
Which is probably something we never actually took to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Aaron moved in, I had a breakdown. That was the first one.
What? I don't remember that.
I don't.
I remember I saw you and your family like pull up in the main drive there on the west side of Kuyper.
Okay.
And I think I just started like doing one of my hysterical laughing breakdowns.
Oh no.
I don't remember the exact reasoning, but that was just another like big tone setter for what would eventually come.
Mental health was not valued in our room.
I think you were bullied if you were mentally stable. I feel like that was kind of the general culture of the room.
So my KP22 fan theory is Jacob. Started out like you started out definitely the healthiest of all of us. I think he was leeching off of us. He was leeching away our happiness. But then like second semester came along and like there was nothing left. We were all empty husks.
Yeah, no. Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Aaron was the healthiest.
I don't feel that way, but that just means I put on
all right, well,
good
that just
front.
means I lose that argument. Jacob was the most mentally healthy when coming into the room. So, okay, let's do a hierarchy. The most mentally healthy entering the room. Number 1, Jacob.
Yeah,
Number 2, Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, Adam.
Well.
Number 4, I'm going to say Sam.
Only on account of the fact that he's been like a flatline like sociopath for his entire life.
Number 5 would be myself, which would put Zach at number 6.
That's a tough one, honestly. The 5 and 6.
And then at the end of the year, we were all number 6.
Well,
Sure.
yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know
we
what
literally
happened.
we literally spent our time engineering an entire hierarchy for how we should bully each other.
It was more, I like to think of it was like a cycle, you know? No one was really above any other person, but we just kind of shared the hatred.
Well, and that's why I
No,
say at the end
Sam
of the
can
year we
on
were all
top.
number 6 for mental health.
Yeah, forget how it went.
Oh, yeah.
Adam bullied me. I bullied Aaron.
Yes, I remember
Oh,
that.
Sam bullied Adam, of course. I guess that it is kind of a hierarchy in a way, because Sam kind of is the one who starts it, and then it goes to Adam, and then me, and then Aaron.
Where did Zach line up in all of this?
I feel like Zach,
Zach
he
somehow
bullied
bullied
stayed
himself.
Aaron.
out.
And I feel like I never got in really in this. And when I asked about it once, I was just answered with, "Oh, you bully everyone," and
Yep,
that
I
was
was
it.
gonna say that's it. Yep.
Sounds about right.
You know, I'd like to think of myself as a nice, caring soul.
Oh, okay.
Jacob,
Yeah,
why don't why don't
maybe.
why don't we focus a little bit on you right now? Why don't
Oh
you
no.
tell
Oh
tying
boy.
all these things of mental health and scuffed decoration together? Why don't you tell us about the hallway of horrors that you slept right outside of?
Oh, of course. Well, mentally, I've, shunned it out of my brain for the most part. But if I remember, there's a Winnie the Pooh, but his skin is like 2 shades too dark, and I really don't like it at all. I remember that.
Whoa.
I remember it just looking terrible, and then also, of course, the clown. And I think we assembled that at about eye level so that whenever you'd wake up in the morning, right before your morning class, you'd stare down a clown right when you walk out of the bedroom. So that was, I mean, it's a great way to start your day. And then there was a map of the there was a kid like as a
Yes,
newscaster, I think, with the map of the US, and it was
yes.
horribly like misshapen. Like the
Yeah, like the
US
U.S.
looked
with
like it
birth
went through a
defects.
new, yeah, had tumors.
It was like
So
Maine, and then like Vermont, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island were like all these boxes, and then they kind of like forgot that New York was the thing. And then like when they would have
yep,
started drawing like New Jersey was like another box, and they just said screw it at that point,
yeah,
and the rest of it was just wide
it
open
was horrendous.
territory.
I I mean, was there anything else? I don't.
I thought we had. There was one poster where it looked like the kid was giving the 1,000 yard stare, but I think we got rid of that one. I don't think we ever hung it up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think yeah.
Those were the three. Those three posters that we had
that
mentioned were
clown.
like the classic hallway of horrors staples. I'm sure there's a picture of it on the side that I'm looking at right now. There was the bird that was just like this
Oh, that's
parrot.
right. It's like a little chick thing.
Yeah. There was the penguin that kept falling off.
Oh yeah, well that's not that
There's
scary.
something else that was like floor level, but I can't tell what it is. I think it was a fireplace that had a
Yeah, it's a
smile on it.
fireplace.
Oh
Wait,
no, yep, I remember that one
And
actually.
just to counter, there was a heart. There was a heart on there.
Oh well, yeah,
And that was
missed
all right
its
next to our
intended
electrical
purpose.
box, which thankfully we didn't blow a fuse like seemingly everyone else did.
Hmm.
And then, of course, moving to the bathroom, we took up a tradition founded in South U303 with the Minions posters in the actual toilet room.
And one of them, the one you look at when you're taking a shit, literally just said it's the minions looking up at the whatever the villain from the second one is, and it's just, uh-oh.
Doesn't it
And it,
say like "Mommy's Home" too or something like that?
no,
It was
it
the one
says
with like Sandra Bullock. I thought.
no, it says whatever a character's name is like is is coming or something, or like is here. I
Okay,
don't
okay.
remember.
Honestly, for me, the most uncomfortable part about our bathroom experience is that, just to take a step back, when our CDA decided to hang up all of the signs outside of everybody's apartment, um, for some reason, our CDA that semester, he decided to make everybody the theme of the entire first and second floor of the Kuyper apartments to be garbage Facebook memes. Like bottom of the barrel, not funny at all, just trash Facebook memes. And ours was some picture of a minion, and I cannot remember what it said for the life of me, but it
I
was
kind
really
of
not funny.
blocked it out.
I
It wasn't good.
It's right there. It's
It was.
something of, isn't it
It
like,
wasn't.
was it the exercise one?
Oh
Or no?
yeah, yeah.
It's
What
like
about
exercise. I thought
exercise?
you said extra fries. Get it?
Ha! But yeah, we had a,
Was it that?
when you stood up to take a leak, you had to stare at that and all of our names on a piece of paper. I wasn't a big fan of that personally.
Yeah, and the picture was like literally one shade of green lighter than the rest of the bathroom, and it made me very upset whenever I paid attention to it.
That's right. It was. It was like the
It
exact
hurt.
same color.
It was so close, but not there. It wasn't there.
Um,
Uh,
Now, for the folks at home who are wondering why we would take our name poster down and hang it in our bathroom, we did actually replace ours with our own variant that had the government get out knock on the Gadsden flag with all of our names printed in Comic Sans on it. So we did make sure we kept our names on our door. However, that didn't stop Adam from making sure other people's names weren't on their doors. If Adam, you feel like elaborating.
Okay. I think it was like um. So I think it was third and fourth floor of Kuiper
Hmm.
had the Caleb Smith ones. The all this Caleb Smith space. And I kind of also like all like the cafe, all the cafe solo like reserves. I don't know. I had a thing for knocking over signs that year. So I just kind of like take the tacks off so they'd fall on the floor, and just kept doing that until people stopped bothering to put them back up.
If you were ever wondering why you couldn't find anyone's apartment, the school year of 2018-2019, you now know who to blame. But Cafe Bustelo though, what a great addition to our lives. That I honestly can say we spent more time making inappropriate jokes about than actually consuming their products. I don't know if anyone actually had their coffee at all.
I only
I
went
did
twice.
once.
And
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was literally it. Probably like three actual products.
we are not
Or
sponsored by Cafe Bustelo, as we like to call it, because we ignorant.
Isn't that actually what it's called though? Or are
I think
you
if you
just pronouncing it kind of white?
I
is it
Is
like,
probably
it? I think you pronounce it more like Bustelo.
yeah,
That makes
Bustelo?
sense.
Bustelo.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I'm not that kind of fancy.
I don't know. They shoved their products in my face and they defiled our building lobby with saying how much we loved their, I don't know, all right coffee, I guess. I don't drink coffee, so I never personally had it myself, but the the business club who does run all that though, they're even more scuffed this year. They somehow surpassed us with their brand new name, Flame, instead of
Wait, what?
Really?
DCBC. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Dort University's cool and all, but I'm not buying. I'm not buying into Flame.
So
Wait, what's called what now?
The DCBC Dort College Business Club has rebranded itself to Flame.
The
Flame?
Like
whole,
future leaders and something entrepreneurs, or I don't know.
No.
oh,
but have they changed like an actual like name, like Cafe Bustelo or the Bunsen Brew, or is it just their
Their
like committee
organization,
name?
I
Oh,
guess
okay.
DUBC just doesn't have enough flow.
Flame.
Um,
Which
Mm.
that not with putting all that together, that means we were the final KP22 of Dordt College. We were the KP22 to end all KP22s.
I'm sorry. I can't. I got sick of that. This is the last blank of Dordt College. I wanted to do harm every time I heard someone
Do
make
harm.
that.
Oh,
Well, at least you can
Not
agree
yourself.
with me and say that we were still the KP22 of all KP22s.
We were definitely the KP22ist KP22.
I was gonna say we were definitely a KP22. We
The
definitely lived there.
I mean, hey,
So-
the five of you turned 22 while living in KP22,
That's
What?
and we were
That's
responsible
probably-
about it too. We didn't play Taylor Swift on our birthdays.
That feels like a
I'm
missed
pretty sure that,
opportunity.
yeah, I want to say that happened. I don't know if it happened at my birthday party, but
I mean, maybe if your name is Joel Skolton, but
that was to be expected.
that really was to be expected. I actually remember. I think it was during Defender Days when we lived in KP22 that somebody came knocking on our door, and he's just like, I used to live here. Can I check out the place? And I had no clue who this guy was. He was like with his wife or something like that. And he just like
I remember
walked down all the way down to my bedroom. He like just kind of poked his head in, like kind of poked his head in the shower. And he's like, well, this was cool. And he just left. And like I was the only person there. And I was just like sitting there like I'm sorry.
Wow,
What the hell?
that could be us.
I mean, it hasn't been long enough for me
Yeah,
to
that's
justify
true.
doing it.
But
yet
what
when
if
I
we-
go back to Sioux Center?
But if we all six of us burst in, we're like, hey, it's our old room. And
I
then
mean, there's
just-
a 90% chance the door is open because everybody in Dordt College's apartments likes to tape the door handle shut, which
Oh, yeah.
we didn't have to do because of a handy trick that Adam discovered. Adam, do you want to talk about how you found the trick, or?
All right. I think we need a section here. AP22 Easter eggs, like things in the room that, as far as I know, are unique to AP22.
All right.
The first one is definitely the door handle. You can twist the door handle normally is pointing horizontal, and then you twist it and then push it open. Well, our door handle is special. You can twist it the other way, so it's sticking straight up into the air, pointing at the ceiling, and then you don't need to use your key. It sticks there, and you don't need to use your key card to open the door. You can just push it open, closed, and it's super handy because that way we could, like most people, just tape their door open, or like put a magnet in there or something, and that way it made it really inconvenient to lock and unlock it. But this way you can unlock and lock it super easily. If you find yourself in KP22, use this trick. It's pretty awesome.
How did you and Sam discover that? Because you did that over the summer when you moved in before us, right?
Yeah, Sam and I figured it out. I don't know how. Just by accident.
I would also like to take this moment as somewhat of a disclaimer saying that I actually emailed future residents of KP22. I emailed them personally and I said, this trick is amazing and you'd be a fool not to use it. And as of right now, I don't know if they use it, which if they don't is very un-KP22 of them. And they didn't even respond to my email either, which is
surprising.
disheartening.
Yeah. The other thing about KP22 that should still be there, other Easter egg, is on that west wall by the window underneath the couch. There's that footprint. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's a footprint on the floor. Like
Oh, yeah,
it looks
and-
like someone stepped in concrete and then stepped on the floor and didn't clean it off. Like there's just one footprint.
And if I remember correctly, the foot is like facing towards the window too.
Yeah, I have no idea what's up
So
with
it's like
it.
they climbed through the window, put one foot down, oops, and that was it. And they just quick ran, like they ran.
Yeah.
They ran away.
Just jumped out the window.
Even though like we were a little bit of a fishbowl being on the like second floor, which you only had to climb a half a flight of stairs for, so really we were on first and a half floor. Um, and you could see a lot of what we did in our apartment. I mean, it's still a
Oh
decent
yeah.
like 10-foot drop at least.
Yeah.
So people are doing this with like ladders and whatnot during the initial pour phase of the build. I'm not exactly an architect or a construction manager, but that is a good Easter egg.
What else? Oh, remember how when we first got to our room, um, the shower was like disgusting
I
and
don't.
it kind of still we just couldn't clean it, and it just kind of stayed throughout the year that way.
All the showers that
Um,
I've experienced at Dort just have that degree of yellow to them. It's just like a fact of life.
The first one wasn't
well,
as bad as the second, though. I feel like the second was way yellower.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
okay.
talking about.
Yeah.
Brianna Miedema on she like actually purged it during the summer. She showed me a picture. It's perfectly clean now.
How did they
So
do that? Because I think we like dumped enough chemicals on that thing to probably kill a man.
she said she probably gave herself a respiratory illness in the process.
Ooh, worth
Let's
it.
see here. Other great Easter eggs. A lot of nails in the wall, which I think a lot of those are gone now. Sorry to future residents, and you're welcome. Um,
There's footprints on the walls.
it's like somebody. Yeah, it was literally like somebody
Look,
walked on the walls. In the first shower room, there was a terrible piece of drywall that got ripped off because when I tried to pull the command hook off that was hanging in there, the pull down, the thing that you pull down to like take the command hook off, didn't pull out properly, so I just had to like forcibly rip it right off the wall. So that was me, future residents. I'm sorry.
mm,
We should have left like a note like on one of the lights about, just like
like
a
a curse.
Easter egg. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought we put something on top of the living room light.
Did we?
I don't remember what it was, though.
It sounds like something you would have done.
Oh, it definitely does. And we would have done it like the most dangerous way too, probably doing it on a bar stool.
That's how we did everything.
That's how we did everything. Stand on top of a bar stool to decorate your apartments. This message is KP22 approved. Yeah, I even took a bar stool into my bedroom to decorate it.
Why?
Because the things that I wanted to hang were too high, and my desk was not sufficient, so I had to get a couple more inches by standing on a bar stool.
Yeah, I guess they are taller than the desk.
You know what? Even our bar stools were cursed right off the bat. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
Yeah,
we have
we
like
had the ones.
the
There was
handicap
the
ones.
handicap room.
Yeah, we had half of our bar stools were normal height, half of them were small, and throughout the first 2-3 months of the semester, we could not figure out for the life of us why we were seemingly the only apartment that was 50-50 like this until we realized that the girls across the hall were also 50-50, which we didn't even think anything of until they realized that 3 of their bar stools didn't fit under their table because their apartment was the handicapped apartment. And so we initiated a trade where we got the normal size bar stools that fit better under our table, and they got the smaller ones that fit under their table. And then the degrees of the bar stools too varied, like in terms of like the padding quality.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, we should have gotten the handicapped apartment when Aaron hurt himself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was a pretty mobile cripple, though.
Great cripple.
Aaron
Yeah, you
is
heard
the
it here
most
first.
stubborn and mobile cripple.
I was stubborn about it, yeah.
Aaron
He's
Aaron
self-sufficient.
and I shared a bedroom, and we bunked our beds, and Aaron was on the top bunk, and when he had broken his knee and crippled himself, I offered Aaron. I said, "Hey man, like you're crippled. Like that really sucks. Like I can switch it. Like I can go on the top bunk, you can go on the bottom bunk, just to make it easier for you." And he's just like, "Oh no, I can get on it, no problem."
And I could.
He did.
Did you? I feel like you almost hurt yourself at least once though.
I don't remember any close calls. It might have been a bad idea to do it, but
He's just
I
too
don't think-
strong. He had to go out and he had to go out and limit his mobility just to put himself on even playing field.
The real marvels for me was when Aaron would go to the grill and then he would balance his food and like soda all with two crutches, and the balancing act was beautiful. That, and also of course the T-pose that had the largest wingspan I've ever seen of any T-pose.
And on one
It was
foot.
beautiful. And on one foot. Like, I mean, the balance and just the raw display of dominance. It was beautiful.
who
And
did a
also,
T-pose on doing that? Was that Kirk?
I think it was Kirk.
poor
No, it was. I remember.
we'll have to have him as a guest at some point to describe the experience as a victim.
Yeah.
The I think another impressive thing that Aaron did while handicapped is navigate all the icy terrain on crutches as well, with seemingly no problem.
That was the icy terrain was what did him in the first place.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Probably karma, because I remember when we first got our room, and I remember I think it was you, Garth, Sam, and I are like, this is prime seating to watch people wipe out on the ice. It's like one of the first things we said.
I don't think we ever did see anyone either wipe out on the ice.
I don't know, I can't remember. I see people wipe out on the ice quite often, but
However, Dora always saw people wipe out if that happened.
Oh, yeah.
We had a Dora statue that lit up and that was constantly staring out of our window. Art is beautiful. Next to the Dora statue, of course, was the Santa corner,
yeah.
where we had two
Three
pictures. There's a Santa that happened to be identical. We basically had these three, I don't know, paintings, I guess, of Santa that we had there.
Well, I think all of them were from a Walmart.
And we also had a statue of Santa that had a dirty secret.
Yeah.
And we'll just leave that at that. But we had our little Santa shrine in the corner. We had Dora always watching. We had Sam's Amazon Alexa,
Which we kind of stopped using after a little bit.
We would set the most. I mean, usually we just have it try to play music just to have everything blocked behind a Prime paywall. And then
Like Despacito.
Yeah, mainly Despacito.
Every time I tried to sing Despacito, it's behind a paywall.
The others, I think the second most played song behind Despacito was probably "Roses" by Outkast.
That song is fire.
That song is fire. If you haven't listened to "Roses" by Outkast, you should. The ending will change your life.
Oh, yeah.
The best moment by far with the Alexa that we abused is you could set reminders on it, and we do it for like 1 minute or like 10 seconds so that we could like have it read really dumb, inappropriate stuff. And sometimes we just set it to some arbitrary amount of time so that it would just randomly in the middle of the day just go off and just say something absurd. The best time though was when one of us said, "Alexa, please remind me to kill myself."
That was definitely you, Gar.
It probably was me. And for some reason, it didn't pick up myself as one word, so it didn't like set off its whole like, "Do you need help? Here's the suicide hotline warning." And it actually saved the reminder. And then about 10 minutes later, we get a screenshot from Sam's phone on his Amazon app with the reminder pulled up on his phone, and he's just like, "Well, see you guys." And I think that's when we kind of stopped doing stuff with that, just out of respect for Sam.
I think
That and it,
he coupled his phone to it, or like at least notifications.
and it disconnected itself from the Wi-Fi about every 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was annoying.
And then the second semester, I don't even think we had the stupid thing set up. I don't remember using it once.
Nope.
We tried to do the trivia game, and that was also a disaster. It was like the disaster corner. Dora, Alexa, Santa. It's like the four horsemen.
Yeah,
The real disaster though was that stupid dog poster that always fell down that we had to hang up right by there. There you go. That's the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
Dog.
Dog poster.
Was that
Dora.
originally in that corner, or was it like on the kind of high part of the kitchen?
It was
'Cause I
on
know we had them
the
in
west
both
side of the
places.
kitchen. It was on the high part, and it kept falling down all the damn time. And we probably put like a whole out of those like packages of sticky tack, we probably put a whole like strip on it, and it still kept falling off. And we just kind of came to the conclusion that for some reason you just couldn't hang stuff there, and we just moved it somewhere else, and it stayed up perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. We moved it behind the couch and then it stayed up.
And we had another dog poster, not on that exact part, that was also really high. And that one said something really dumb. I don't remember what it said though. It was like I think it was like oh no, what was it? It was like a be
Lord,
nice
give
to
me
people.
strength or something, right? Or maybe not.
Say it again.
I thought it was. It's in one of the pictures I sent. I thought it was like, Lord, give me strength. Or was that the one in the bathroom?
No, that was no the one's not in the pictures. It was like it was oh hold up. It was actually might be in one of the ones it was the one I think I sent of Adam on the table. Yeah, there's just like this white dog, and
Dog.
I honestly can't tell what it says because the image quality is so bad, but it says something.
reverse image search.
Enhance, enhance. Yeah.
The day that the Lord has made. Oh, I remember that poster.
That actually could be. There was the WWJD that was right above our light switch. I
That
remember
that
that
was a
one.
good one.
Oh, I remember this too. We would have pictures of other people's
Mm.
families on our refrigerator.
That was from you though, wasn't it?
That was from Zach, Sam, and I each put stuff up there, and then I had that picture that kid at the church drew. So I have like some random little kid whose
That
name I don't even remember anymore. I have I hung his drawing up on our refrigerator.
That was a work of art for sure.
terrifying, terrifying.
Um, so
It's just
I looked
Satan
back.
crouched around the corner, saying Satan isn't real. Isn't that what it said?
It said Satan.
Yeah, it said something about Satan.
Do you still have that picture?
I don't know. I'd have to look through my papers.
That picture was true folk punk.
It's just terrifying.
Looking back though, so the dog poster that fell off kept hanging, and then there was a poster right next to it that said, "This is the day that the Lord had made." But there was also another dog one that said something else. But those two things hung up fine. That one didn't for whatever particular reason. Well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in and listening to the introduction to the scuffed world of KP22. Perhaps we'll have to recount some of the other magical experiences that we encountered in our glorious apartment. But on behalf of us in KP22, Rip Zach, Rip Sam, we wish you a good night, and we would just like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.